I'm back. This is today's job. Right, we have got a combi boiler for the van, not a house one, that's been sat in the garage because we got it second hand. We got it ages ago. So that's in the garage. I'm not in a position to put it in properly, but I do need to get the ducting in behind the kitchen, behind the shower, things like that, so I know where everything is and I can build on top. So this is the ducting. This is going to go from the combi boiler, the warm, I was going to say hot, but I suppose it's the same thing. Hot air is going to travel from the boiler through these pipes out into an outlet wherever we choose. There's going to be 4 in total because the combi boiler's got 4 outlets. So one's going to go into the garage space at the back of the van under the bed. One's going to come out the front of the kitchen next to the sliding door. One's going to come out just in front of the bed, and one is going to go through behind here and into, well, out of, I should say, the shower cubicle. So that'll mean we can also use the shower cubicle for like hanging things up and drying when the warm air's pumping out. So that will be all of the warmth that the van needs, really. This should be a doddle to fit. Drill some holes, feed it through. We've got some little plastic, where are they? Little plastic caps that go on to cover it up. Let's sit on there, and that's it. I'm not going to put the rest of the boiler in yet because we haven't got the electrical system, and I can't be arsed trying to figure out right now how to plumb it into the diesel tank. So for now, I just need to do this job. Hopefully this will be like a few minutes video. Feed it around, get it into place, and then and that's one more thing out of the way, and then I can hopefully get the kitchen boxed off with the drawers and doors, because then I'll know where this is hiding. So yeah, let's crack on with it. So this is the boiler. So this is the Truma D4E. It's a diesel heater and a water boiler at the same time. So the back of this is where the diesel will get connected to power everything. There is a water outlet, and at the bottom there, if you can see, there is a water inlet. And an exhaust pipe here, and luckily the hard bit, putting the outlet for the exhaust fumes, has already been done by the previous owner. So there is an exhaust pipe that looks like this, with an inner and an outer. That'll get connected onto that, and also to the outlet there. And then on the other side there is 4 warm air outlets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to run today the ducting from the outlets to each area that we want it to. Essentially, I'll move that to one side a little bit. This should be somewhere around there, give or take. The diesel will go through the bottom and get connected to the diesel tank when I figure out how. That will be there-ish, like that, and then we'll run the ducting through everywhere. We'll box this in at some point down the line, and we'll sit it on a some of the green plywood that we've got as well. Make a nice built-in box with some airflow for the air to suck in. And then it won't be like this ugly boiler that's just on display. But right now I don't really need to worry about that. All I care about, getting the the holes drilled, bringing the ducting into the right-ish area, and then we can leave this in the garage for the time being. If you are wondering where this floor came from, we got this 3mm rubber matting on Amazon. We sanded down the floor quickly just to rough it up and give it a clean so there was no dust. Gave all that a sweep up, and then we literally just spray adhesived this onto the floor. It's hard wearing, so it says, and it looks good. It does stink though. It absolutely reeks of rubber, so I'm hoping that wears off. But yeah, happy with it. The only downside is it looked nice for about 2 minutes, and then we walked all over it, and now it's full of footprints. But floor's done. Right, I think we'll start with the one that's going to come out of the bottom of the kitchen. Here's what I'm hoping to do. Let me turn this around. What I'm hoping is the pipe can come through that. I'll drill through the wall of the kitchen, and then it can go underneath, because this will be boarded, underneath there, through to the next one, underneath there. I'll go a little bit higher up into the third cabinet and then out of the front of this. That will be good, and then it'll all be hidden and tucked away. Nothing will be seen, and there'll just be an outlet on the front where that is. What I'm going to do is put the green separator divider wall in temporarily, because I'm going to have to drill through the bottom of that as well as through, through the kitchen itself. So I might as well put this in now, drill through both, and then it's job done. I can put this back in the garage until we need to fix it in. I'm going to drill through from this side down there, if you can see it's a bit dark, through that side, and then the hole from the pilot hole will pop out of there, and then I'll drill from that side into there so it's nice and clean. I don't know if that made any sense, but I'm going to show you. So I'll go down here, you go down that side, and you can watch the hole pop out the other side. And now I know where that hole is, I can go from this side and go straight through both of them, and we'll be in the right place. That's the green one. So I can pull this out now and then I'll just carry on. Hey. There she goes. Right. That's one bit done. A few more, let's go. Okay, two. Awkward as hell, these things. Right, so we've got that second one done, just there. What I'm going to do now, instead of just coming straight across in a straight line, I'm going to go up a little bit. So I'm going to go through here rather than here. The reason being is on this last one, we want the outlet to poke out here. And if I'm over at the front and come here, I'll have this tight 90-degree bend that I'll have to put in, which isn't great for the ducting. So instead, we'll start over here, come out and loop in a much softer bend, which won't damage the ducting at all. Alright. Right, holes are drilled, sanded, vacuumed, so it's not there's no sharp bits. So we're going to feed the first lot of pipe through, stick the whatever they're called, the little plastic end bits with the little vent on, make sure they work and everything's cushy, and then we can move on to doing all the other holes. I'm going to try and be gentle with these because they're not exactly super durable. As you can see, goes through, under. Remember, all this is covered, you can't see nothing. Through over there. And you remember when I said about the curve not being too tight, so that works perfectly. That sticks out the front, and now we just need a little fascia on it. Right, there's all different types of these little fascia things, these little outlet covers, vents if you will. This one, so they come in two parts. That goes into the wood, into the hole where the wood is, and these little ridges just get hammered in and keep it in place. Then the pipe comes through there, through this side, and there's little ridges on the inside of there that will hold that in place. And then this, come on Andy, and then this will go in there, screw in a little bit like that, and then on this particular vent, the vent can spin if you want it to spin, so you can point, not too soft though, so you can point the air in whichever direction, oh yeah, that's why, in whichever direction you want. I'm told I can just hammer this in and these little ridges will press itself through the wood and won't go anywhere, but that makes me a bit nervous.
So I'm going to hit this bit of wood instead. Well, it's in. I sure as fuck hope I don't have to take that out. This duct should just push in now, with any luck. And those noises are the teeth on the inside grabbing it. Doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So then the front can go on. I've discovered that the front actually comes in two parts as well. So that just clips in, so that should go in quite easily. Like that. Everything looks stable. I'm just overthinking it, I think. That clips in. And we've got a vent on the front for warm air to come out of. And it turns in the direction we want it to. Not too easily, I will admit, but it does turn. Alrighty. 1 down, 3 to go. Seems good, I'm happy.
Right, so as for the next one, which we're going to do into the shower, the bed is obviously going to be from these brackets, and the ducting is going to run along the inside of the garage. What I'm going to do is go about halfway above the wheel arch, in there, along the wall behind where the toilet is, so behind that, and then it'll come out behind the door in the toilet, well in the shower, about there. And that way there'll be plenty of room for all the electrics, which will be a little bit higher, and the plumbing for the shower will have space behind the fridge or along with the electrics. I don't think that's a good idea, but yeah, there's plenty of space for everything. So yeah, should be good. Right, I've either done something clever or I've done something dumb. I have purposely drilled this hole on an angle. I just had to cut bits away with a jigsaw at the same time, so that when this pipe comes across, where's the end of it? When this pipe comes across, it can go through at a less of an angle rather than a tight 90-degree one, and it should be able to stay closer to the wall that way, like so. Whereas if I just did a straight 90-degree cut, I would have had to bend this, and that wouldn't have worked. You can get 90-degree plastic things for this, but I ain't got any, and I don't want to buy any when I can just drill a hole in an angle. So there we go, I think it's worked. Right, that's sorted, but before I put this in, before I force it into the hole, because we're in the shower obviously, I can't take any chances of this not being watertight, so I'm going to absolutely stuff all the edge everywhere around this with silicone, and then press it in, clean it up, and then I'll put the pipe in from the other side once that's dry, because I really can't take any risk, any water getting behind there and going through that hole. We have a hopefully watertight vent. Now, I don't know if you can see in there, but the pipe is currently a few centimetres away from the wall. So I've got these clips that screw into the wall, go around the pipe, and then just clamp the pipe together, and it'll attach it, stop it flapping about. So I'll use one of these in there,
And that'll be that, sound and secure, and we're on to the next one.
That's number 3.
Because I'm not fixing this dividing wall just yet, I'm going to put the vent in from the other side, obviously, because I'm in the back now. Put the vent in, cut a piece of ducting for it, but not fit it. Just chuck this back in the garage so I can still get easy access, and then we'll fit that later on. Right guys, that is it. We have got ducting where ducting needs to be. The 4th ducting will be in the garage, so you've seen me drill 3 holes. We've got pipes for each, but the 4th outlet is going into this area, so it's only going to have a little piece of short ducting coming out of the boxing. All this will make sense further down the line, so there's no need to cut any for that just yet. So I'm going to tidy up now, and in the next video, now that we've got this running through the bottom of the kitchen and I know what's what, I can start putting the bases back in, I can start putting the drawers in, or building the drawers, and adding doors to the kitchen, so it might actually start to look like a kitchen, which should be nice. That's all I've got. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.